think that I actually want to talk about Avatar. I want to talk about Avatar. What? Because this is being released, and I've been really conflicted, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what it is that is worrying me about this film, or what is it that I have this sort of just irrational. Like we have a fourth member of a team, Sean, and whenever Sean is on, Sean has these actors that he just irrationally does not like. Like for some reason, he does not like Stanley Tucci. He thinks Stanley Tucci. He thinks that he gets on the screen and he does not like Woody Harrelson. He shows up and Sean's just like wants to throw stuff at the screen, and I'm having this sort of like irrational feeling towards Avatar where I'm just kind of like no. But before I try and delve into this is like my own personal therapy session as to why I feel that way. What is your relationship with the first Avatar film?
I've never seen it. Couldn't.
Okay, that is there any particular reason why you've never seen it?
I just couldn't be bothered. I was never particularly interested in it. And I like sci-fi. I like fantasy. I CGI, great. Just looked and went, nah.
Okay, all right. How about you? Sharon?
I have seen it. I saw it because it was supposed to be the film that saved cinema, wasn't it, at one time? And it
Mm-hmm.
was the thing that heralded, the revolution that was going to be 3D, and every
Oh,
film from henceforth was going to be in 3D. And so I did suffer through the film with a pair of glasses perched on in front of my glasses, squinting at the screen. Um, and then I actually watched it without the 3D, and I probably enjoyed it more without it
mm-hmm.
because it was one of those whole things of it was just so I was physically uncomfortable wearing two pairs of glasses.
Yeah,
So to
Hmm.
get there, and there's nothing else they can devise that is not anything other than deeply uncomfortable when you wear glasses to watch a 3D film.
I agree with
Um,
you that I'm not a fan of 3D.
Yeah.
and
I
so I wasn't thrilled with it, but I watched it, I enjoyed it for what it was. But to be honest with you, I can't see why it took so long for the next one to come out. For me, that ship has sailed. I mean, whatever buzz there was around about the first Avatar, I mean, that's gone. So I'm just not interested enough to want to go and see it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, Holly, you were gonna say something.
um yeah, I was saying that some films, I'm trying to remember which ones where I've genuinely liked the 3D, but they are a small number where I think it's been worth it. And now I can't think of a single one. But there have been some things where I've thought, oh yeah, that was genuinely impressive. But yeah.
Was Gravity in 3D?
I think there was a 3D version of Gravity, and I thought Gravity was immersive enough as it was, so I I never bothered trying to watch it in 3D. I just yeah, I judged Gravity as it was. I was like, okay, yeah, good enough.
I have seen two or three, but again, it's so uncomfortable that my rule is I only will watch one animated film a year, and
Yes.
it got to be that every year the one animated film I saw was in 3D. So I think I saw A Christmas Carol, the 3D one with voiced by Jim
Oh, Jim
Carrey,
Carrey, yeah, the Jim
and I
Carrey one.
watched one of the Toy Stories, I think, with in 3D. But to be honest with you, I got so uncomfortable that I ended up taking the 3D glasses off, and so I ended up watching animated films, um, all
Oh,
fuzzy.
oh, fuzzy anime. Oh, good lord, that's
So
oh, oh,
because
why?
I did also see the Glee movie in 3D because I want
There was a Glee movie.
there was a Glee movie, yeah,
Oh, good lord.
and there was a 3D one. So again, everyone would whenever I'd see any reactions, it'd be like they'd be like going, oh, or any of the 3D films I've seen where everyone was going, oh, and sort of doing stuff. I'd like put my glasses back on and think, oh, what are they looking at? What are they seeing? Oh, that's it. And then I'd take them off again because I just got to the point where I thought I don't want to sit for 2 hours with this weight on my face.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm just
uh,
testing the 3D films, and I think the best 3D films, and I think it was Ready Player One. I think I saw in 3D.
yeah, okay. All right. Oh, we're gonna stop. We're gonna move off something that
Yeah.
we haven't watched, and we're gonna but to and go into things that we actually have watched.
Well, you
But
haven't said why you don't want to watch it.
I haven't said okay. So this has made me what I'm persisting at the moment is that I really do not like hype, and sure enough, some of the things I loved were have been really really hype, like Avengers Endgame. But I feel like that was well deserved hype. But Avatar, first of all, I did not like the first one. I mean, there is this growing thing online where people just bash Avatar, and it's become like that kind of thing where, like, when people just go, "Oh yeah, my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard," and it just becomes that thing where people just decide that this is the position they're gonna take, and they just bash Avatar. And I like to say I was one of the original bashers. I walked out of the cinema bashing that film, and and I remember thinking, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, okay, cool, technological advancements and all that, but a lot of the hype about Avatar, I never agreed with. When people said about the fact that, okay, it might technically have been a cutting edge thing, but they refer to the Navi as photorealistic. I didn't think they were photorealistic. There's scenes where you have the Navi beside the humans, and I never felt watching it that they felt that they were in the same world. It looked like, it was obviously composited. So they didn't look like creatures that were in the real space as the humans, as far as I was concerned. There's especially one scene when Neytiri at the end carries Jake when she thinks Jake is dead. And that scene doesn't look right to me. It just doesn't. So a lot of the hype about Avatar, and then people talking about, oh man, the 3D, it takes you to a different world. I felt like I was in a different alien planet. And there's one scene where when he first gets into the Avatar body and his feet go into the sand. And that, I think, okay, cool, that was kind of cool, but apart from that, my nose just hurts. My nose just hurt and my eyes hurt throughout the whole film. And so you have all these things, and when I say I don't like hype, James Cameron is he is his own hype man, and he will walk around and he will hype these Avatar movies because of which he has planned 4 sequels, by the way. So this is Avatar 2, and we're planning to have all the way up to Avatar 5. So he has planned this long ass mythology, which I think in his head he wants it to rival things like Lord of the Rings and all that kind of stuff. That he's planned this long ass mythology. Number one, I think that is excessive. The same way I thought like the first Hobbit being turned into 3 films was excessive. I think that's excessive. And then he's going, this is going to be the best amazing thing, blah, blah, blah. And I just don't like his push to tell you what it is that you are going to like, and which he does a lot. He tells you what you're going to like, and he has this which has made him a good filmmaker. I'm guessing that if he has a single-mindedness, it makes him a good filmmaker and all that. But I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't like the fact that when Avengers Endgame overtook Avatar as the highest-grossing movie of all time, he went and released a new version of Avatar in cinemas to refresh people's memory before the second one came out, so that Avatar went back and became the highest grossing movie of all time. It just seems extremely petty to me. So my relationship with James Cameron at the moment is not great. And then I find that the first Avatar, I think the first Avatar was a film that really, really showed me that my movie-going taste had changed a bit too. I don't care how good it looks. I don't care how many things blow up. I don't care how advanced graphics you use. If the story is not there, I'm not interested. And the first Avatar does not have a story to uphold its runtime and over everything it does. I remember that year because it was up for all the Oscars and everybody was hoping that it was going to win Best Picture, and I was rooting like anything for The Hurt Locker. I was rooting for The Hurt Locker to beat Avatar, and just please do not let this film, because if this film wins Best Picture, he's going to get enabled. He's going to think that he can do whatever he wants, and he's going to give us more of this nonsense. And then this Avatar movie has come out. It's over 3 hours long. The film is yes, I know it is over 3 hours long, and in today's when I sit down and I think, what could I be doing with 3 hours? And I'm just kind of like, I'll watch that on TV when I can pause it, because I feel that it is self-indulgent. I think James Cameron in this Avatar series is self-indulgent, and I don't personally think that it has much respect for the people who are watching it. I've read interviews with him where he said things along the lines of, oh well, people watch the people will sit down at home and they'll binge watch a TV series, so they'll watch 8 hours of something. So don't talk to me about watching 3.5 hours. Don't try and tell me that that's too long. I'm like, yeah, but there you have a pause button. You can go to the loo and not miss anything. Yeah. They have the decency to give you a cliffhanger and a break where you can go away and then come back. Yeah. You haven't given us a pause button. You just want us to sit down there, and you think that this stuff that you are so indulged in is great enough and you are big-headed enough to think that we don't have anything else to do with our lives, that we're going to sit down for a 4-hour stretch watching your nonsense, which apparently has a very thin story that doesn't actually... So essentially all these things have come to make me sit down, and I actually thought on, and I feel like I feel like what I would have thought would have been the unthinkable is going to happen, and I don't think I'm going to watch Avatar: The Way of Water in a cinema. I think I'm going to wait until it shows up on Disney Plus, and I'm going to watch it with a pause button, because I've got better things to do with 3 and a bit hours of my time. But I also think that's unfair, because there's a film called Babylon starring Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie, which is apparently about 3 plus hours, which I'm a lot more happy about going to watch it in the cinema because... So I think that's a bit hypocritical. I said this is like therapy for me, but I feel like this is a film that, in James Cameron's mind anyway, is going to be the biggest film of the year, and I am just not bothered.